God says, "Listen closely, my beloved soul, because this moment is not loud, it is not dramatic, and it is not meant to scare you. It is gentle, intentional, and filled with meaning. You did not arrive here because of pressure or urgency. You arrived because something within you finally slowed down enough to listen. My voice does not compete with noise, it waits for stillness. And now, in this quiet space, I am speaking to you with clarity and peace. For a long time, you believed that if something important was meant for you, it would arrive suddenly, forcefully, or with signs that could not be ignored. But I do not always move that way. Sometimes I come softly, through a pause you didn't plan, through a moment where your heart felt slightly heavier than usual, through a sense that you should stop for just a second. Those were not interruptions. Those were invitations. And every time you passed them by, nothing was lost. What I prepare does not disappear when unnoticed. It waits. You may feel like you have skipped moments, delayed decisions, or missed opportunities. But understand this clearly, nothing meant for you has escaped you. What is aligned with your soul cannot be outrun or misplaced. Even when you move ahead unaware, I move with you. Even when you doubt, I remain steady. This message is not arriving because time is running out. It is arriving because understanding is opening. Something unexpected is forming, not outside of you first, but within you. It is not chaos, and it is not confusion. It is a subtle shift in awareness. You may not be able to explain it yet, but you can feel it. A release of tension. A quiet knowing. A sense that you no longer need to rush to prove, fix, or force anything. That feeling is alignment beginning to take shape. I have been reaching you through small things you didn't consider spiritual. Through thoughts that returned again and again. Through moments when you questioned your direction. Through feelings you tried to ignore because you thought they were inconvenient. But nothing within you is random. Your inner movements are part of a larger unfolding. When you learn to listen without fear, you begin to recognize guidance where you once saw distraction. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not being tested. You are being prepared. Preparation often feels like waiting, but waiting does not mean stagnation. Roots grow in silence. Strength builds invisibly. What you are becoming has required depth, patience, and inner maturity, not speed. That is why this moment feels calm instead of urgent. Calm is the language of readiness. The unexpected thing that is coming is not something you must chase. It is something that will meet you naturally because you are finally in the right inner posture to receive it. It may arrive as clarity, as peace with a decision, as a connection that feels familiar without explanation, or as a door opening without resistance. When it arrives, you will not feel shocked. You will feel recognized. Let go of the idea that divine moments must be intense. Some of the most meaningful shifts happen quietly, without announcement. When pressure leaves your chest. When your mind stops racing. When you feel safe to trust your own inner voice again. That is where transformation begins. Not in fear, not in urgency, but in calm awareness. Stay here for a moment. Let these words settle rather than rush past them. You do not need to react. You do not need to decide anything right now. Presence is enough. Listening is enough. Understanding unfolds naturally when you allow it space. This is not the end of anything. This is the beginning of clarity. And clarity does not shout. It arrives softly, like this moment, meeting you exactly where you are. God says, stay with this moment a little longer, not because you must, but because your spirit already knows there is something here meant to be absorbed slowly. You have spent much of your life moving forward without truly pausing, carrying responsibilities, expectations, and unanswered questions quietly within you. You learned how to function, how to appear strong, how to continue even when clarity was missing. What you rarely allowed yourself was stillness without guilt. And yet, stillness is where understanding finally catches up with the soul. You often wondered why answers didn't arrive clearly when you asked for them. Why signs felt incomplete. Why guidance seemed distant even when your intentions were sincere. The truth is not that you were ignored. The truth is that your life required depth before direction. There are seasons where movement teaches nothing, and seasons where waiting teaches everything. You are coming out of such a season now, not because something dramatic has changed around you, but because something has settled within you. The unexpected thing forming is not a sudden event. It is a recognition. A quiet realization that you no longer need to fight your way into alignment. That peace is not something you earn after struggle, it is something you allow once you stop resisting yourself. You are beginning to trust your inner rhythm again. That trust is what opens doors that effort alone never could. There were moments when you doubted your intuition because it did not match logic. Moments when you silenced your inner voice because others spoke louder. Moments when you chose certainty over truth because truth felt unfamiliar. None of that disqualified you. Those experiences shaped discernment. Now, when something feels right, you will not need permission to acknowledge it. When something feels heavy, you will no longer force yourself to carry it. Understand this clearly, alignment does not mean everything becomes easy. It means what is meant for you no longer feels forced. Resistance fades. Confusion loosens. You stop chasing explanations and start recognizing patterns. That is what is happening now. Your awareness is sharpening, not to make you anxious, but to make you present. You may notice subtle changes. Your reactions softening. Your thoughts slowing down. Your need for external validation reducing. These are not signs of detachment, they are signs of grounding. You are becoming centered again. When you are centered, clarity arrives naturally. Decisions feel lighter. Conversations feel honest. Directions feel intuitive rather than pressured. You are not being prepared for loss. You are being prepared for reception. Receiving requires openness, not urgency. It requires space, not tension. Many people miss what arrives for them because they are bracing for impact instead of opening their hands. You are learning how to open without fear. That is why this message feels calm instead of demanding. There is something important about timing that you are beginning to understand. Not everything delayed is denied. Some things wait until you are able to hold them without losing yourself. What comes next in your life will not require you to abandon who you are. It will integrate with you. It will feel familiar in a way that surprises you. You may think of moments when you felt guided away from certain paths without explanation. Relationships that faded. Opportunities that didn't unfold. Plans that dissolved quietly. At the time, they felt confusing. Now you can sense they were redirections, not rejections. Your path was narrowing, not closing. It was being refined. Stay present with this feeling. Let it move through you without labeling it. There is no instruction here. No task to complete. Awareness is the work. When you are aware, you stop rushing ahead of yourself. When you stop rushing, you notice what has been waiting for you all along. The unexpected thing will not arrive to overwhelm you. It will arrive to affirm you. When it comes, you will recognize it not by excitement, but by calm certainty. By the absence of inner conflict. By the feeling that nothing inside you is being compromised to accept it. You are not missing anything. You are arriving. God says, there is a reason your heart feels quieter than it used to, even when life around you has not fully settled yet. This quiet is not emptiness. It is space. Space created after long inner noise finally steps aside. You spent years interpreting pressure as purpose, urgency as importance, struggle as proof of worth. Slowly, without forcing it, you are learning something gentler. You are learning that clarity does not shout. It arrives softly, when the mind stops arguing with the soul. You are not standing at the edge of something unknown. You are standing inside something familiar that you once ignored. The unexpected thing forming is not foreign to you. It has been walking beside you for a long time, waiting for you to notice without fear, without impatience, without needing guarantees. You are finally noticing. There were moments when you felt disconnected from direction, when prayer felt repetitive, when effort felt heavier than progress. In those moments, you assumed something was wrong. You thought you were missing a step, misreading a sign, falling behind. But nothing was broken. Your life was recalibrating. Some growth happens loudly. Some happens invisibly. The invisible kind lasts longer. You are entering a phase where answers arrive not as explanations, but as inner agreement. You will not need to convince yourself anymore. What aligns will feel steady. What does not will quietly lose its grip. This is not loss. This is refinement. The soul does not cling once it understands. Notice how certain thoughts no longer demand your attention. How some worries feel repetitive rather than urgent. How old fears try to resurface but no longer feel convincing. This is awareness strengthening. When awareness strengthens, confusion weakens automatically. You do not need to fight confusion. You only need to stay present long enough for it to dissolve. You may sense that something within you has slowed down. This is not delay. This is integration. Integration happens when lessons stop being theoretical and start becoming instinct. You are no longer asking who you are becoming. You are beginning to act from it naturally. The unexpected arrival will not disrupt your life. It will fit into it. That is how you will recognize it. It will not require justification. It will not demand sacrifice of peace. It will feel like continuity, not interruption. Like something that belongs where it arrives. There is a shift happening in how you relate to time. You are no longer chasing future relief or replaying past regret. You are learning to trust the present as sufficient. This trust changes everything. When the present is trusted, anxiety loses fuel. When anxiety loses fuel, intuition becomes audible again. You have always had intuition. What changed was your willingness to listen without immediately questioning it. Now, when something feels settled inside you, you will stop overanalyzing it. When something feels off, you will stop rationalizing it. This is not rigidity. This is self-respect at a deeper level. There are connections in your life that will begin to feel clearer. Not louder, not more intense, clearer. You will know where to invest energy and where to step back without guilt. Boundaries will feel natural rather than defensive. You will no longer explain your silence. You will simply honor it. You may notice moments where gratitude arises. Without cause. Moments where you breathe more deeply without realizing it. Moments where you feel supported without seeing evidence yet. These are internal confirmations. They do not predict events. They reflect alignment. The unexpected thing is not rushing toward you. It is meeting you where you are. That is why you had to arrive here internally first. Without this arrival, even blessings feel heavy. With it, even uncertainty feels manageable. You are not being tested right now. You are being trusted. Trusted to recognize what resonates without being told. Trusted to choose gently instead of dramatically. Trusted to move forward without needing constant reassurance. Let this message continue to sit with you, not as information, but as atmosphere. You do not need to memorize it. You only need to remain open while it unfolds within you. Understanding will not arrive all at once. It will settle gradually, like light adjusting to a room. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where a deeper version of you needed to arrive before the next step could reveal itself. Stay here. Stay present. Nothing is being taken from you. Something is quietly finding its place. God says, this is the moment where everything you thought needed force finally begins to move through understanding instead. You are not being pushed forward anymore, you are being invited inward. The unexpected thing forming in your life is not loud, not dramatic, not overwhelming. It is precise. It is calm. It is arriving with clarity rather than chaos, and that alone tells you it is real. For a long time, you measured progress by visible outcomes, by timelines, by external confirmation. But now you are discovering a deeper truth: the most important shifts happen when your inner resistance dissolves. That is what is happening now. You are no longer fighting your own becoming. You are cooperating with it. Notice how your reactions are changing. Things that once disturbed you now pass through without staying. Situations that once demanded explanation now feel self-evident. You are no longer proving your worth to life. You are recognizing it. This recognition changes how life responds to you. There was a time when you waited for signs outside yourself, thinking direction would arrive from somewhere else. But direction was always internal. It was waiting for silence. Silence creates space, and space allows truth to surface. You are finally giving yourself that space. The unexpected arrival is not something you must chase. It is something that aligns with who you have already become. That is why it feels natural rather than surprising. When something is truly meant, it does not create confusion. It creates recognition. You may feel moments of emotional stillness that feel unfamiliar. This is not numbness. This is balance. Balance feels quiet after long intensity. Your nervous system is learning safety again. From this place, decisions will feel cleaner, relationships clearer, and intentions stronger. You are also learning discernment. Discernment is not judgment. It is awareness without attachment. You will know when to engage and when to pause. You will know when to speak and when silence communicates more. This wisdom was earned through experience, not instruction. What is being prepared for you does not require you to abandon yourself. It requires you to be fully present as yourself. You are not being asked to change who you are. You are being asked to trust who you have become. There is a sense of completion arriving, not an ending, but a closing of unnecessary loops. Old patterns are losing relevance. Old questions are losing urgency. You are stepping into a phase where life feels less reactive and more responsive. You may notice synchronicities that feel gentle rather than shocking. Conversations that arrive at the right moment. Ideas that land without effort. Opportunities that feel aligned instead of demanding. These are confirmations, not tests. You are also learning patience without resignation. Patience that trusts movement even when it is unseen. This patience is powerful because it is grounded. It does not doubt. It observes. The unexpected thing will not take away your peace. It will protect it. That is how you will know it is right. Anything that demands the sacrifice of inner stability is not meant to stay. You no longer negotiate with discomfort disguised as destiny. You are allowed to rest in this phase. Rest does not delay progress, it integrates it. Integration ensures that what arrives stays. You are not rushing because there is nothing to outrun anymore. Your life is becoming less about survival and more about expression. Less about fixing and more about living. This shift changes how you wake up, how you listen, how you choose. Trust this pace. Trust this clarity. Trust the subtle confidence growing inside you. Confidence that does not announce itself, but supports every step. What comes next will feel like continuation, not correction. Like alignment, not adjustment. Like truth, not persuasion. You do not need to ask whether you are ready. Readiness is already present. It shows in your calm. It shows in your boundaries. It shows in your ability to stay rather than escape. Let this message complete its work within you. Do not rush to interpret it. Let it settle. Understanding will arrive as ease, not explanation. You are not missing anything. You are arriving. If this message resonated with your heart and brought clarity, like this video, share it with someone who needs peace, and comment what you felt while listening. To stay connected with messages that speak to the soul, subscribe to this channel now. Not out of fear, but out of alignment.